Hey, welcome back. We're going to change things up a little bit this week. I usually shoot a ton of videos during the weekend or early in the morning or later in the evenings. I'm going to take you out into the workday, in the middle of the workday with me during the week. We are vlogging a mini restoration for a customer, so I thought it would be a good time for you guys to come out with me and I could show you what we do for that process. And when I say mini restoration, it's we're restoring what's there. We're not ripping out the interior, putting in new rug and seats and replacing the trim. We're going to clean up and protect everything that's already there. It's 85 Porsche 944. We have some oxidation, scratches, swirls. We're going to clean it bumper to bumper. We're going to protect it bumper to bumper. And we're going to make it look as good as we possibly can. Let's get it done. Okay, to cover some cliff notes here quick before we start working on it, we have a single stage enamel here. The red and black for Porsche stayed single stage through the early 90s as the other colors, white, gray, silver, blue, changed to clear coat. And they also had several manufacturers that covered those paints and clears for the different colors. Here we also have some paint protection film down at the bottom of the car we have to remove. And we have oxidation up top here on the roof and the hood. We're going to take care of all the trim. We're going to take care of the back fin here. Over here on the driver's side, in addition to the oxidation and the swirling, we have two rather long and deep scratches. Not through the paint into the primer, but very deep. Going to take a little bit of work to remove those. And we have the usual oxidation on the roof and the hood. As you can see, there is some reflection there even through the oxidation, and I already have in my head what I'm going to use to remove that and restore the paint underneath. And we'll just show you here at single stage. You're going to see the paint transfer onto the rag. I have a little bit of compound, and I'll show you that the oxidation really isn't all that deep. We won't have a lot of sanding to do. We're going to just use 3000 grit here, and then we're going to jump to microfiber cutting pad and some Sonax, and we'll polish from there. Before we get started, let me show you the progress on the detailing cart for exteriors. I have the cup holders, the phone holders, the trash can. I have holders for polishers secured at the top. I also have holders on the other side for compounds and cleaners, again secured at the top. The whole car has absolutely everything I need for the work on the exterior of cars. No need to take a trip to the drawers or the cabinets on the other side of the shop. So we're going to get started on the old original paint protection film down at the bottom of the car. We're going to first do it mechanically, and then we're going to do it and finish it up chemically. As I was going to mention earlier, the only concern we have removing oxidation is what's underneath, because with single stage you may have a problem with staining or discoloration, and you don't see that until the oxidation is removed, something you have to have a little conversation with the customer. Okay, so I've done this before. I know this is going to come off in layers. It's not going to be easy. It'll be a little bit of a bear. We'll take the top layer off with a heat gun, and then we'll chemically remove what's remaining. The plastic scraper is surprisingly gentle, trying to get these paint protection film layers off. I know I'm going to have to do compounding and polishing underneath to begin with, because there may be a little bit of edging, definitely some discoloration. Okay, so one trip around the car, I get as much as I can that way. Then I will chemically remove the rest, the adhesive that is left over, and I'll do that with the Citral 266. There are many, many ways to go about doing this. This is another way using the 3M wheel. When the film is completely removed, what is revealed underneath is a little bit of discoloration, no surprise there, a little bit of etching, and we'll take care of that with polishing and wet sanding. So with that out of the way, I could start from the inside and work out, and that's the way I do it. I'll take care of the engine compartment next, especially when I have to do some polishing and some restoring under the hood. And in the trunk areas and in the door jambs, I'll work from the inside out because I use pneumatic tools. And just in case I happen to brush one of the hoses up against the outside of the car, that can easily be taken care of when I get to the outside, when I get to the exterior and do the correction out there. So what I'm going to use is the Jax Wax Rinseless Wash, excellent for engine bays in older cars where the connections aren't quite as secure and watertight, and there's so many things we don't want to get wet under here. This product here is excellent for this area. Not to mention, we're going to take care of the underside of the hood, and the insulation apron is brittle and maybe falling apart, so we want to be really careful with that. We definitely don't want to get it moist or wet. The Jax Wax seems to clean and condition at the same time as some of the plastic and rubber I work on. Takes on a nice, deeper, richer color. Okay, so I completely went around and I have the engine bay absolutely clean and ready for the painted surfaces to be polished. We're going to take care of that with our Central Pneumatic 2-inch polisher. We're going to put a Eurofiber 2-inch pad, and we're going to use Cupion 6.2, which is an ultra fine polish. We don't need anything really aggressive underneath here. I'm going to polish whatever I can, whatever I can reach with the 2-inch polisher, and the rest I'll get by hand. This little 2-inch polisher gets used hard every single day. It's durable, it does a great job. It was under 50 bucks and is 3 times more powerful than anything you're going to find for $500 in a kit. Okay, the engine bay itself is done. It's ready to go. So we're going to move to the underside of the hood, and we're going to be mindful of the insulation apron that is on either side of the underneath of the hood here. We don't want to bump up against that. It's a little bit brittle and dry, but we do want to get the lip on the front and the side of the hood. That has been exposed to UVA, UVB, and is oxidized as well as the top of the hood. We're getting these areas now because we're going to work and do one panel at a time, and we're going to tape them off completely. All the cracks, all the crevices, all the edges, all the seams will be taped, so there won't be any kind of wet sanding residue. There won't be any compounding residue to drop down in there and have to go back over it later. Okay, so the engine bay and underneath the hood is finished. It's complete. It's ready to go. We can button up the hood here and we can start taping off so none of the residue or the dust or the compounding residue gets down in. And if we have to go back over it and just dust it later, that's fine. But for the most part, we are done here. Okay, so while I'm in the area, I just want to close the hood here a little bit, and I want to get the lips around the headlight covers. They have also been exposed to UV damage and are oxidized. We will restore the headlight bezels later, at a later time, but for now we're just going to tape them off so we don't brush the polishing pad up against it. By the way, another difference between a full restoration and a mini restoration, everything gets restored attached to the car, where probably the whole assembly would have been pulled to restore completely. Okay, that does it for this area here. We're going to flip the headlights back down, and we're going to resume tomorrow in the door jambs. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for today. We're going to pick this back up tomorrow. If you have any questions on what we have done today so far, leave it down in the comments section. I'll get back to you. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.